Hey, what's up, Travel Chronicles? This is the special Olympic edition. Not for any other reason than that's just what's going on right now. But a couple of things from the Olympics so far that have happened. One, the Russians have they've been banned from competing as a country. But their athletes can still show up and compete. They just can't compete as Russians because the country had an entire countrywide blood doping scandal or some type of drug use scandal, something like they were cheating, hardcore. But their athletes are still allowed to compete. So here's the thing, right? And yeah, it would be harsh from the IOC, but you're trying to make a statement to say to these other countries that, hey, it is not worth cheating. The only penalty they have is that their flag's not displayed, their uniforms don't have the flags on, and they don't play the national anthem if they win the gold medal. That's it. Other than that, they still get a gold medal. Everybody still knows who they're there competing for, right? If there's a punishment, punish them. Don't say, well, you can't compete, sorry, but all your athletes can. That's the same. You haven't done anything. That's not a punishment. Everybody still knows who they are. They're still calling them the Russians on the TV broadcast, not an independent athlete from some federation. Now, here's the thing, right? If they're allowed to compete as this independent group that aren't affiliated with this country, then could somebody who didn't make the Olympics go in as an independent? If they've met the qualifying times, maybe they had a bad qualifying race, right? Like Craig Engels in the 5,000. Somebody else has had a really good race, plus it's like 105 degrees or something when they're trying to run. It's like maybe he could, Duke could win a gold medal. Like he could legit win, or at least maybe silver. But he could medal, but he didn't qualify. Could he run as independent? Could he run under the Russian whatever that is? Since it's not a real thing. It's so. If you want to punish it, if you're gonna ban them, ban them. No athletes. If you want to compete, you can file a petition to play for another country. But that's it. Otherwise, it's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. I'm sorry, that's just dumb. The other thing that's come out of the Olympics here recently is Simone Biles taking herself out of the competition for mental issues, which is, when you're out there performing in the Olympics, it's an athletic competition. It's your body competition. It's not necessarily, people don't think of your mind. Yeah, your mind has to be right, especially when you're doing the stuff that she does. It's got to be in the right spot, or you're completely screwed. You can't go out there and just try to play through a couple of quarters like basketball. You can't just try to make it through a couple of events. She really screwed herself on the vault. She got in her head and stuff. But here's the thing: she'd already been through the first day. She'd already done all the qualifying stuff, all the team qualifying stuff, and now it's an issue. It's weird. And there's reports people were saying stuff to her from other countries, like they're gonna judge you different. And what? Okay, first of all, if you are going to be the best in the world at something, you gotta wear it. You gotta own it. And look, I know you're going to judge me differently, or you think people are judging me differently, because I'm better than you. And it's, at some point, it's braggadocious, it's hubris, but at some point, somebody is the best in the world, right? And that's what the Olympics are trying to determine, is every country figure out who your best is, send your best, and then we're going to figure out who the best of the best is. And that's what it is. she faltered on the vault. She pulled herself out. Team got silver. Like, look, from a competitive standpoint, from a team standpoint, probably the total right call, right? She's not in the right headspace. She can't compete. If she goes out there and botches one more event, you can be off the medal stand. You know, you got to have everybody focused in the right frame of mind. But by the same token, at that point, when you're at the competition, your head shouldn't be determining what you do, right? Everything you've done up to that point is what you're going to do, right? The hay is in the barn. All of your training is done. Everything when you go out there to perform is muscle memory, right? Especially in a sport like gymnastics, where you're not competing against somebody, where you have to react to what they're doing. You have to just go out and execute your routine that you've done probably for the last year, maybe two, or parts of a routine that you've practiced for 5-10 years. It's unfortunate, and I feel bad for her. Not for the country, or oh my goodness, we could have won another gold medal, and like, I don't care, right? But that girl, for the rest of her life, the only question she's going to be asked is about what happened at the 2020 Olympics or 2021 Olympics. Like, why didn't you compete? Like, what happened to you mentally? What do you think could have happened if your family could have been there? If this had happened, if that had happened, could you have been able to compete? Would you have won? Oh yeah, I would have won gold. Would you have? Like, we don't know. Like, I mean, the fact of the matter is, she could go out there on her next vault and break her leg. She could slip on the uneven bars and fracture her shoulder. In the wrong frame of mind. And it's going to be unfair to ask what she could do or what she couldn't do, but that's all anybody's going to ask. And it's unfair to herself to not go out there and, just be in the moment. Don't think. It's not about thinking. It's not about your mental state. Your mind has to check out and just go do. The only thing your mind should be telling you is, yep, we can do it. Yep, we can do it. We've got the experience. We've put the reps in. We've put the time in. We can do it. And the other thing is, you owe it to yourself, because she's 24 years old, right? She's won most major competitions she's been to. Maybe she's in a position where she can walk away and she don't care. That's fine. But all these people talking about how she's an inspiration because she walked away for her mental health. All right. One, that's not inspiring. That's not, it's like, train, work hard, get to the top, and then just walk out just because you feel like you need to. Something's, you're checked out. It's like, if you want to be inspiring, finish the job. Like, go out there and try. Well, I don't want to do the all-around. What are you going to do? Just the floor competition? Can you walk away doing one event? She qualified for all 4 events in gymnastics. Okay, this isn't like she got off the plane and like started freaking out and couldn't do anything. Like, she already qualified for everything. It's unsettling, right? It's disappointing. And all these people talk about mental issues. Oh, it's high pressure. Sports is high pressure. Look, life is high pressure. Okay, there are situations you come to in life, and you have to press through. I worked a strike, right? I was locked in for 12 days. I left my wife and my young son at home, not knowing what would happen the next day, watched all the employees walk out of the plant, and left the salary people there to kind of run everything. And we did for a few days. It was like shut down the line right away. This is an aluminum plant. Then come back and start setting carbon. And we were locked in, not knowing when we would get out, if we could get out. It was so weird. But it wasn't like I could go, I'm not prepared for this mentally. I have to I have to walk out. And then you walk through the picket line or whatever and go, look, guys, I'm sorry. It's my mental state. I couldn't do it. It's like, my family needs to eat. Right? Let alone, like, 2 days after I'm locked in, my wife takes a pregnancy test and finds out she's pregnant. You know, that's a little motivation. You know, people look at hard things like, oh, it's too hard. It's like, no, that's life. Life is hard. There are hard things that you encounter in life. Everything is not easy, right? Everybody's not for you. Everybody's not in your corner. Everybody's not hoping the best for you. They're not. Sorry. There are some people that do. There are some people on your side. Those are the people you have to listen to. You know, if you don't respect somebody enough, I forget what the saying is. Something about, you shouldn't listen to their criticism, right? If somebody's criticizing me that I don't want to listen to, that I wouldn't listen to, I don't care. I don't care what you think. Of course you don't like me. Can't let that affect you, because then you're gonna be left with what ifs. You know, sometimes you gotta put your head down and go through it and try. And you know what? Everything's not gonna be a success. Everything's not gonna be, let's walk away with 6 gold medals. Okay, yeah, you may fail, you may fall, you may slip, but don't let your brain take you out of trying, especially when you put the work. Trust the work. Trust the work. That's the grind, right? Like, if you don't enjoy the grind, then it's foolhardy to say that you love the competition, right? Because that is the competition. You got to compete day in and day out, and most of the time the battle's with yourself. Are we getting better today? Did we get better today? Do I feel better today than I did yesterday? Do I feel better about my performance than what I could have done yesterday? And if the answer is no, then you need to stop and do something else completely. You can't get to the end and then say, nah, this isn't right. I think she's going to be really, really disappointed later, and I feel horrible for her. But somebody's got to be on that sideline telling her, you've got to do this. You've got to try. You've got to go out there and put that effort forward, because if not, you're going to have nothing but regret for the rest of your life, because you're done after this. She's done. She's 24 years old. She's not coming back for another Olympics, for another all-around title. This is it. All right, that's all I got. Well, be careful. Enjoy the Olympics. Stay COVID-free. Later.